Hello everyone, welcome to Satsang. For those who are not aware, we use WhatsApp as a means of communication. You can send your questions directly to me. Let's make some silence first. Forget about everything. Ask yourself, who am I? As you ask the question, your attention moves towards a place. Stay there. Okay. So sometimes seekers ask, what are my teachings? Or they come to see the satsang to understand which teachings am I giving, where am I coming from? To see if it fits, if it is something which is connected, what they are looking for. But this is usually a mistake because I don't speak about specific types of teachings, even though it seems to be, because most of the times I'm speaking here about meditate, work, intensify, and all of this. So this is kind of a language. But this is about more of those who are listening than from the teachings that I'm giving, because I speak to everyone. So if you want to have if you want to know about a specific subject, it is important for you to ask the question, and I will answer. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. And usually the answer is not to assert, but if there is, it is to clarify. And if there is a crystallization coming with the question, if you're having, if you're using your spiritual path in order to crystallize instead of freeing yourself, then I will hit that crystallization, break it a little bit, giving you the opportunity to look at it and break the rest yourself. And these days, well, I'm using the expressions a lot of work, intensify, meditation, and all of this in times where it seems that it is opposing what is mainstream, because there is mainstream spirituality. Um, and in that mainstream spirituality, the truth is everywhere. You just have to recognize. How many times most of you have written this? You just have to. You just have to, and you just have to. And you go to internet and pages, and you write on the comments, but you just have to. None of that is real. You just have to, and you just have to, and you just have to. It's very easy. You just have to, and you clarify others in discussions and all of this, and you just have to. And isn't that kind of a joke? How many years have you been writing you just have to, and you continue the same? Doesn't that make you wonder? Well, it should. It should. And it will eventually. It will. Because, well, if the thirst is there, there's a certain amount of time that you can deceive yourself. And there's a lot of things in the way, as uh, vanity, arrogance, and all of this, self-importance, and distracting with a lot of things, worldly things that eats away your time slowly and slowly, and you don't see the time flying. But eventually you will. Eventually you will. Not saying that it is not like that. Yes, you just have to. It is. But, well, okay, after going through a lot of purification, steadiness of the mind, cleaning all the noise, holding on to silence or some kind of a technique of meditation. As your attachments are decreasing, as your outlook into the world is changing to a real vision that it is not real, that it is not important, as this desire for liberation increases, and you look at the world, at life, with a certain distaste and this feeling that I don't want anything from this apart from freedom, as this starts to increase and the level of silence there starts to increase. What does this mean, the level of silence? Is the capability of being quiet? No. Yes, but not in that sense that it usually is understood. But it is the ability of not following, having the freedom to not follow the inner, how do you say this? These pulsions, these inner currents that make you invest, that you still give importance. Those needs, for example, inner needs for affection, for having something, for doing something, whatever. And as this arises, you can remain there without complying. So this means your level of silence is increasing. And that means that all that you have done so far has broken the stronger ropes. So now it is time to break the more subtle ones. And the more subtle ones, they are in what you can call your intimate space of perception. That when you abstract from everything else, your eyes get closed, there's a space there where things seem to arise, to manifest. From nothing, it is appearing and manifesting and making your attention move towards them. So learning to be in this place more and more, instead of being propelled by these things that arise in this intimate space, and just be in the front of what is propelling and not seeing what is propelling. You have to conquer your place behind this propelling, observing, remaining at the source and observing, holding on to the source, but you will observe these things arising, trying to pull you, to propel you. And as you remain in that place, you will observe them. Now you're looking them behind them, instead of being just propelled and not seeing this. And as things arise, those things are arising. It doesn't matter what is arising, and it is always changing. You are not going to follow them. You will remind yourself, this is unimportant. And you will remain at the source. And at this stage, this voice of self-criticism and all of this cannot be there. You are already beyond this. And whatever voice is arising in that intimate space that seems your voice, making comments about whatever, you are turning to that voice and removing its interest. You can repeat to yourself, this voice is nothing. It is not mine, not me. Eventually just not me. And that dialogue falls apart and continues to fall apart. Not one, not two times, every time it is arising, because you are there in that intimate space. You are not distracting. You are not being just propelled by things, looking in front, not understanding what is propelling you, and completely unaware that you're being propelled, and there's a whole world there behind. behind. So whatever voice is arising, either to explain things, to give um, opinions, you're always giving up that voice, always giving up that voice and returning to that place of silence. And as at the same time, as there is still um, as you are still having relationships with others and doing whatever you are doing, and there's interactions, this is the word I was looking for, interactions with others, this is very useful also, because especially if there is close relationships, this is very useful in the sense that by being in this place and in these interactions, you may seem to the other person that you are listening or interacting, but you will not be there. You'll be in that place, observing closely what is arising. The importance is what is the other, what the other is giving you, is saying, pointing, whatever. What is arising from that space to confirm, to counter, to get the other's attention, um, to be special, whatever. And you will be constantly just giving up that and continue silent. You can give some signs to the other person like, yes, I'm interacting, because this will help the flow to come. And the other one will help you and will reveal, especially if it is not a very good conversation. If it is a discussion, for example, if it is something that is being pointed towards you, these are wonderful opportunities for you to get out from the river, get out from the river, because things will come intensely, or at least more intense, because if everything is shanti shanti, you won't access these deeper layers. But eventually, these things will come to you in one way or another. And this is very good opportunity. You see, most of you confuse spiritual practices with apparent peace, peace on circumstances. And this is not correct, this is not good. This friction which is in circumstances, this will allow for you to access these strong, deeper currents that make you invest, make you act. And in this sense, you can get out from the river, you can remain in stillness, and you will see the more important things are that are arising. And if you're not letting yourself be propelled by them, then you will see it's like something that is ripping apart and falling down. And from this, what becomes more available is more silence, more stillness, intense silence, vibrating silence. So a conversation is taking place, so it seems, and a lot of things are arising in that intimate space of perception. Your eyes are open. It seems that you're in that conversation, but your attention lies there at that place. And in that place, you're giving up, not me, not mine, unimportant. And as the needs come to do this or to that, or to say this, say that, you just disqualify them. It is not real. If the world is not real, these things are not real as well. So I just give them up, give them up. And sometimes when you're doing this, it seems that the noise becomes deafening. It's so intense that it can sometimes appear like uh, you're going crazy, but it isn't. And the more you're doing this, and the more intensity it arises, the more um intense the inner screams become. Well, this is a good sign because it means that your world, what you call your world, this character's world, is being threatened. And this intense noise, it is about um, pulling your attention again back to it. So this is what it's, and it is countering that which you're doing, because this is the nature of what you call reality. And as you observe and you continue, there will be surely these moments of inner intensity, but also what you call outside of the body. There will also be these episodes that will come to test what you're doing, something intense, accidents, whatever it is, only to pull back the importance. Understand the importance you are giving to the world. This is what is sustaining it. So as you start to really cut this importance and not just changing one thing for another, then the world will come at you intensely to claim your attention back to it again. You will see eventually that time becomes huge, enormous, and this frightens the character. It is too much. It gives even a lack of breath. So to be able to remain in that place, you will have to go through all these all these things and putting them aside. This is where you use the vision. It is not real. I hear a lot of times people saying that they are going through a level of practice, but then something happened and then they couldn't contain themselves. They had to say something. And this, they have to say something. These are these deeper layers, these ropes that I'm talking about. And you can have a superficial detachment. This is fruit of practice, of course, and of a lot of work. But the deeper layers, they need to be addressed, or else it continues the same, different, but same at the same time. Because it is just a more peaceful illusion. That's not the point. A more peaceful illusion helps for you to be able to go to the more subtle ropes. And eventually, it is these tests that are very difficult, then you can work them at the deeper level. But there must be something there because ripping off, letting go completely of delusion, this should be the goal. And not just a peaceful, a more peaceful illusion. And if this is not clear, then it is very difficult to go to these deeper levels because things have become nice, good, shanti. So this will to go deeper, if freedom is not the real goal, then this it is difficult, or even you cannot not even think about it. And that is the resting place. That is the place of revelation. Because it's not about you just have to. It is revelation, revelation. For those who are completely tuned with the divine and want nothing else from this world or the others. And the more you are able to recognize that and remember constantly the nature of delusion and not going with these things, all these ropes will start to cut and you'll be able to stay more and more at the source. And dissolution of delusion will increase a lot of times, faster and faster and faster. And you just stay there, stay there. And whatever comes trying to disturb it, just keep quiet, stay there, let go. Okay, so it is enough for today. Next satsang in English will be Wednesday, 9 a.m. UTC minus 3. Okay, so until then, well, continue.